everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So I know there are a few people that have been really sick with that nasty flu that's been going around. It hasn't fully caught hold of me yet, but I do have a bit of a cold, so in case you think I'm talking a bit funny during this video, that's why. I am also partially deaf as well. I know I've said in other videos before, so that can kind of cause me to talk a bit funny, and the fact that I have another cold now, I'm just sounding really stuffed up, so apologies for that if you can hear that throughout this video. But anyway, I am so excited for today's video. As you obviously saw from the title, we do have the new Nomad Paris La Bohème palette to go over today. Is it La Bohème or La Bohème? Probably should have looked that up beforehand. I did actually do French in school, believe it or not, and I just cannot remember half of it to save my life. So just to disclose before we get into the video, this palette was very kindly gifted to me by the brand, so thank you again so much to the Nomad team for sending this my way. And they have actually added me onto the Pure list for 2026, which still sounds absolutely crazy to say. I really can't believe how lucky I got. They did reach out to me there just before New Year's to ask if I was interested in being added onto the PR list, so of course I said yes. I was absolutely delighted. I know I've said a few times on my channel now that Nomad really are just one of my very top favourite indie brands, so to be added onto the PR list for this year and for the products to be sent out to me to try out before they're released is just absolutely a dream come true, and something I never thought I'd be able to do. So thank you so much again to the Nomad team for offering to do that, and I just want to say a huge thank you as well to anyone that's engaged with my content or subscribed to my channel, whether it's over here or on Instagram as well. It really does just make an absolute huge difference. I wouldn't be sitting here today and playing with this makeup that I received in Pure if it wasn't for all your help. So yeah, I just wanted to say a huge thank you. And just to say as well, I do also have a non-affiliated discount code as well to use with Nomad if you are picking up this palette or if you're planning on picking up anything else. Obviously there's no pressure that comes with that. It's only if you are planning on picking up makeup anyway. I don't want to be encouraging people to go out and buy products that they weren't already going to pick up, but I'll leave my code on screen and down below in the description box if you are interested in picking up anything else from the Nomad website or this palette. It's just Stina10 if you do want to save yourself some money. So it is a non-affiliated code like I said before, but thank you so much if you do decide to use it, because it does still really help me out regardless. It just lets the brand know that you watched this video or that you engaged with my content. So yeah, thank you so much if you do decide to use it. So here is the inside of the palette here now, just to show you quickly before we get into the swatches and everything. So it's an absolutely gorgeous colour story. I really love that we have a mix of these sort of traditional kind of romantic Valentine's Day-esque tones over here with the pinks and the purples, and then we also have the more kind of grungy deeper tones over here as well. I absolutely love mixing and matching these type of tones together as well. I have seen a few people say that you can break the palette up into 2 9 pans as well, but I was actually just thinking you could actually work your way down in columns of 3 here to create some looks as well. So usually we do get a postcard that's released with each palette as well, but I didn't seem to get the postcard in my package that I got this morning, so I'm just going to read the description from the Nomad website. So it says 18 artistic and free-spirited hues formulated with extra fine pigments for colours as vivid and lasting as an artist's paint, an eclectic mix of 10 cool and warm toned mattes, 6 expressive shimmers and 2 pièce de résistance multi-chromes, all inspired by La Bohème, the bohemian life in Paris Latin Quarter, infused with rosehip oil to help hydrate and condition skin. What's great about Nomad as well is that they always donate a portion of the profits to a foundation or a cause. So for this particular release, the cause is the Fondation de France. I might be absolutely butchering that, but it says, "We are so proud to support Fondation de France and its environment initiatives with our Paris La Bohème palette, sharing the values of creativity, care and respect for the natural world." So yeah, really great that Nomad always donates to a charity or an organisation that's local to the area that they are basing the palette on, and it just makes it really easy for me to continue supporting the brand as well. So I am going to do a demo for this look that I'm wearing here now. I initially was going to do more than one look, but I just ended up getting this palette delivered to me slightly later than expected. It did launch a couple of days ago now, so I'm just really keen to get this video up as soon as possible. So we'll just get into the swatches of the palette, and then I'll go through the demo for this look that I'm wearing here now and give you my thoughts at the end. so we will get into look number 1 using the Paris Le Bohème palette. I'm just going to go in and put my hair up out of my face, and apologies in advance if I butcher any of the pronunciations of the words in this palette. I did actually do French in school, believe it or not, but I've forgotten half of it now. Okay, so as you can probably see, the palette is sort of split into two different sides, so 2 9 pans. So this side with the pinks and purples I think is supposed to kind of represent the love and passion and creativity. And then this side is supposed to be representing the more kind of somber, melancholy side of it, and really kind of grungy tones over here. And then obviously you have your more kind of traditional romantic tones over here with the pinks. So I'm not going to stick to either side of the palette today anyway. I want to mix both sides and use kind of a mixture of shades. So I love contrasting colour combinations, so I think I'm going to go in with this purple shade here called Paris or Paris, and then I'm going to contrast it with, I really love the look of this gold shimmer here, or that's one of the multi-chrome shades I think called Poverty. And then I think I want to use this sort of grungy greeny yellow in the inner corner called Destiny. So yeah, we'll start with that now. The Sigma E25, and I'm just going to start stamping that deep purple shade just on the outer corner here. And yeah, it's a really deep kind of plummy shade. It actually does kind of have a hint of blue in it as well. It's more like an indigo purple, I'd say. So really nice shade. I absolutely love purples. I think I said before, it's just my absolute favourite colour to wear, and then also to use in my makeup as well. So I'm always happy when there's purples thrown into palettes. So I'm just sort of stamping that on the outer corner here just to kind of create a bit of a wing shape, and then I'm also going to take it slightly above here into the crease, but I don't want to go in too far. I actually do want to use that sort of greeny mustard shade in the inner corner as well. Okay, so I'm just using the other side of the brush to just kind of start blending this out really lightly before I go in with a lighter shade on the outskirts of it. So I'm going to go in with this light grey tone called Ephemer. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that, but yeah, I'm going to go in with that lighter grey shade just on the outskirts of that purple that we laid down, and we'll see what happens, what kind of way the purple turns. It might kind of make it a bit more blue leaning. Okay, so going in with the mustard shade called Destiny now, and I'm just going to start stamping that down on the inner part of the eyelid, kind of right beside where we placed that purple shade down. And we'll see what these two shades look like together. I absolutely love the contrast, but these sort of shades don't really blend together the best, obviously because they're not kind of variations of the same tone, so they don't really blend together very well. But if you just kind of place them down beside each other, there are kind of ways to maneuver them so that they look a bit better and don't just look like you kind of slapped them on down together. Or there are certain looks that I do actually like the look of that as well, where they're kind of much more messy. I'm just kind of stamping that in and then stamping it in beside the purple shade just to kind of try and merge the two together. I absolutely love how that mustard looks against the purple. Okay, so now that that's down, I'm just going to go back in and re-intensify that purple shade just because I did lose a bit of the darkness. Okay, sorry, so one of my kids just came home from school and the baby is currently napping, so I'm trying my best to keep him asleep so I can finish this look. So just going in with the shade Poverty, and I'm just going to give it a spray. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with the shade Poverty, and I just sprayed my brush this time rather than using a sticky primer, because I want to be able to kind of maneuver the shades a bit more over my lid. And sometimes with a sticky primer it tends to not work the best when you try to kind of move the shade around. But yeah, I'm just gonna put this on the inner portion of the lid here. So it's like a really intense gold with like a flip to green and then also copper as well. I don't know if the camera is going to really pick it up here. It is a bit more on the sheer side in comparison to the other shimmer shades in the palette, but it's still really bright and impactful. So I'd say it's like a purple with a teal flip, so it looks like a really nice shade. I'm going to put that now beside the gold. Again, just spraying my brush just because I'm not going to put down a sticky primer today. And I'm just going to start laying that down now beside the gold. I really like that. Just kind of placing that in kind of the middle of my eye, and then sort of patting it over this gold shade as well, just so that the two kind of blend into each other a bit better. So yeah, let me know if you are, or you were excited about this palette coming out, and if you've been to Paris before. I've actually been to Paris. I must actually count up the amount of times I've gone. I think I've been about 7 or 8 times now at this point. We actually go to Disneyland quite a lot with the kids, the Disneyland in Paris, but I haven't actually been into Paris city for a while, like 10 years I think was the last time I went into the city. So I'm really dying to go back. It's an absolutely gorgeous city, and so handy that we're so close by as well. Obviously in Ireland, we're, to most places in Europe, we're never more than like a couple of hours away. And then just for a tiny bit of brightness on the inner corner, I'm just going to go in with this pink shimmer called Love, and just put a tiny bit of that just to sort of brighten up this inner corner, and yeah, sort of layering it over this kind of gold and yellow shade. It won't really be quite pink, I don't think. Probably just kind of, yeah, it's kind of turned into a bit more of like a peachy sort of colour. But yeah, it did the job anyway, just to sort of brighten up the inner corner. Okay, so here is what the first look is looking like so far. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off my eyes and then my base as well, and then I'll be back to show you the final look. Okay, so here is the finished look using the Paris de Bohème palette by Nomad Cosmetics. I absolutely love how this look turned out. It's totally just a bit of me between the colour combination. So I love contrasting colours, like I said at the start. So I love the mix of the kind of yellow grungy greens mixed with the purple, and then just the fact that it's like really sultry and grungy as well. It's just totally a bit of me, and I love the fact that we have these tones in this palette here as well. So I love that it's just a very different take actually on a kind of Valentine's Day palette, because we are going to see a lot of palettes now coming out over the next month or two that are just completely pink and red, maybe a bit of purple thrown in. And don't get me wrong, I do love a good kind of pink, red and purple colour story, but it is nice to also have options of other colours that you can go with as well. And then you can also do contrasting colour combinations as well. God, that was hard to say. But yeah, I was looking at the palette as well, and I also kind of noticed that you could actually work in columns down of 3. So if you wanted to kind of do quick and easy looks as well, I love how these tones contrast each other in the columns of 3 going downwards. So maybe the next few looks that I do with this palette, I will kind of work my way down in columns. You could do a really kind of soft romantic look here using these 3. And then obviously you have the more kind of bolder grungy tones down here as well. So I'll just explain to you what I did for the bottom of the eye. So I just went in with the same shades that we used on the top, and then I also went in with this kind of deeper bluey toned purple up here called Poet, just in the middle portion of the under eye there. So for the waterline I did go in with 2 different eyeliners. So this olive green I used on the kind of inner portion of the waterline. It's from Colourpop called Wildcat, and then on the outer portion of the eyelid I used the shade Astral from Cosmic Brushes. And then for the top of the eyelid I just went in with this liquid liner from Colourpop in the shade Utopia. It's like a really deep purple colour. It is sort of drying up a bit now though, so it did kind of cause a bit of patchiness on the outer corner. So I was actually initially going to create another look using the palette, but I did end up getting it a bit later than planned. So it was launched on Monday and it didn't arrive to me until today, which is Wednesday as I'm filming this. So I just thought it would be a bit better to try and fly through this and just do one look, first impressions, and just get the YouTube up as quickly as possible. So I will definitely be using the palette over the next few weeks though to create some more looks. So keep your eyes out for that. I will be uploading on Instagram and then also YouTube Shorts as well. So I really enjoyed using this palette today. It's an absolutely gorgeous colour story. It's so unique as well. So well done to Nomad for releasing a palette that was slightly different than all the other Valentine's palettes that we're going to be seeing now over the next few months. But yeah, I absolutely love this colour story, and just the fact that we have these kind of really deep grungy tones over here as well. I never used to be a lover or a huge lover of pink eyeshadow in the past, but I actually do really love pink now. So absolutely no issues with any of the shades that I use today. The mattes are just so pigmented and buttery and just blend together so well, even though I used these two shades here, so the kind of mustard and the purple shade, which don't typically kind of work together, but you can kind of maneuver them in a way that they do work when you place them beside one another. But yeah, I know I've said it before, I think Nomad really does have one of the best indie eyeshadow formulas on the market at the moment. They're just so pigmented, but yet they're easy to blend. I just never have any issues blending any of the shades out, and they hold their pigment really well as well, so you can build them up and then you can blend them out really easily, and then it doesn't just turn to like a dusty mess on your eyes once you do actually blend them out. So yeah, leave me a comment down below and let me know your thoughts about this palette, if you've picked it up yet or if you're planning to pick it up. And again, I do have that discount code which I will leave down below as well if you are planning to pick it up. Obviously no pressure at all, it's only if you are actually planning to pick it up in the first place. I never want to kind of pressure people into picking up makeup that they weren't planning on doing anyway. And I just want to say a huge thank you to anyone that's already subscribed to my channel here as well, or engaged with any of my content, be it over here or over on Instagram as well. It's obviously for that reason that I was able to receive this palette in PR and able to continue with my content, so it really means so much to me. So thank you so much if you've already subscribed to my channel, and if you aren't already subscribed and you do enjoy this sort of content, I'd love if you could subscribe to my channel as well and stick around for more content like this. I will also leave my handle for Instagram down below as well. It's just the same as here, Stina Celestial Beauty, if you want to give me a follow over there as well. So I will be creating more content again, like I said, with this palette over there. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I do hope you found it useful in some sort of way. So hopefully I will see you in my next one. Take care, bye.